Right. Okay. So without further ado, John would like to talk about specifically education, right? As a theme today, which is the role of Indonesian youth in addressing global challenges through education, right, Nadia? So maybe to start our conversation this afternoon, we are very interested on your story, on your background story, right? So how are you, like Zizi mentioned that you were born in Surabaya, and then, right?
Correct. I was born in Surabaya in 1994.
Mm-hmm. And then up to you continue your study in Jakarta in architecture.
Yes, I studied architecture in Nusantara University,
Right.
and I finished in 2016.
Yeah, that's interesting. Can you share us your story from Surabaya to Jakarta, right, John?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so actually, going to Jakarta, I live by myself. I live in a dorm, so I know some of you are here by yourself, and I can understand how it feels. Yeah, and I studied for 4 years, and during those time, I meet a lot of friends, I meet a lot of people, especially in university while studying architecture. I actually got to contribute in an organization. It's called iBuddy. It's when I welcome international students to Venus. So it's like you guys here are international students. Well, in Indonesia, I welcome international students to come in. So for me, I had a lot of exposure to international people from all over the world, and I got to know and I got to have many, many friends. And I think that's how I come to be who I am today. It's because I know that there are so many people in the world who have different languages, they have different food, they have different things that they like, they have different traditions, so that's how we respect each other, and that is very important in this day and age.
That is very interesting story. So maybe John, you have a follow-up question on that.
Yeah. I mean, thank you for explaining how you became who you are right now in Venus University. I guess maybe taking it back even a little bit further back from your time in Surabaya to your journey, going to Jakarta by yourself. I guess how was that like? Where did you go to school? Maybe like in high school, and how that was the transformative to later on your time in university in Jakarta.
Yeah, I am so grateful that my parents put a lot of emphasis on education. They want me to have the best education. They also encourage me and my 2 brothers to stay in school, to always, Asian parents, they want you to get the best grades.
Yeah.
But my parents they're encouraging, but they don't I don't have to get A's, but I have to go to school. I have to contribute, and I think that's important. And then in Surabaya, I go to a school called Citahati, and it's an international school. So I have teachers that comes from all over the world. And then I got
It's an IB curriculum.
It's IB curriculum. And then I go to St. Louis in Surabaya. It's a Catholic school. So I went to Christian school, and then I went to Catholic school, and then I have friends who are Muslim, and I personally am Buddhist. So I think it's important that I have those connections to different religion, to different people. And coming from St. Louis, I go to Jakarta to study in Nusantara University. And I chose architecture because my parents, they are in construction. My mother is an architect. So I love what she does. When I was a kid, I would look at her drawings, and then she would make plans for houses, and then I would make my plan for my room because I couldn't make houses.
So you can draw. You can draw the.
Yeah, I draw the layout to my room.
Layout. Oh,
yeah.
Nice. Oh.
So I'm like a tiny kid. I want my table here.
Okay.
I
That's
want my bed here.
Oh, very inspiring. Did you do that as well, John, when you was a kid?
No.
Right. So you arrived in Jakarta and then you studied architecture. Also, you explained this now why you choose architecture. Is it because of that?
Yes, it's because of my mom, but also it's because I love what she does. I love drawing and I love doing art. In a way, what I'm doing now is kind of like art as well. Modeling, doing photo shoots, fashion, those are arts. So I think there's a red line there. I always want to do art. Yes.
You think that maybe your interest in art influenced you to want to go as a model later on after?
Yes, definitely. So I got started to modeling when I was in university because I started helping my friends. They were making clothes. They have those little like prototypes of clothes, and they want pictures. They want to sell it. They want pictures. So they asked me to wear it, and then I got to do photo shoots, and then I realized I really like this. I really like modeling, and I started doing shows, and that's how I got to where I am today.
All right, so that's a very rich experience, I would say, right? You have like a lot of backgrounds, and you met a lot of people with different backgrounds along the way, right? Okay, so now we talk a little bit more about the what we say in our theme, which is the global challenges. Right now, you're coming to Toronto to participate in a very prestigious event, which is the Miss Face of Humanity, right? This is a very important topic currently, as our world is facing a tremendous global challenges. I mentioned it: climate change, inequality, gender issues, right? So, but you single out, sorry.
Just conflicts in the world.
Conflicts, exactly, in the world, right? Now, you single out education. This is very interesting. Why you think that education is very important, or the most important thing here? Or probably because of its will be the basis to overcome those issues? So please share your ideas on that.
Yeah, I think education is very, very important. When people are born into poverty or people are born into conflict, they don't have access to education. A lot of people I met the kids in Jakarta are living in poverty. And then they live next to the train tracks or they live under the highway bridge. And then they don't have a home. And their parents can barely feed them. So they cannot send them to private schools, cannot send them to classes. And some of them don't have IDs, don't have Indonesian IDs. So they cannot register to school. All they have is a tiny space that has one teacher to teach all of them. And then when you live in that condition, you don't have they don't have equipments, they don't have chalkboards, they don't have notebooks. So for me to see that, I can see that the way out of poverty is always education. When you have education, then you have the opportunity to work. And when you work, then you have the opportunity to take care of your family. Yeah, and in conflict with refugees, we have refugees in Indonesia. And a lot of people don't know that. And when refugees come to Indonesia, a lot of them are from Middle East, or from Myanmar, or all over the world. And then they come there, they don't come alone. They come with their family. Some of them have 2 kids, some of them have 3 kids. I know some of them who have 5 kids. And you, as a refugee in Indonesia, it is very hard to register to school. You can do it, but they speak Farsi. They don't speak Indonesian. It's very hard for them to understand the language. And then now they have learning centers for refugees, but they have a capacity. And there are more refugees than the capacity. So this is a problem. And then the current law in Indonesia is that refugees cannot work. So when refugees cannot work, what do? The UN and several other organizations will give them support, will give them money for a living, but often it's not enough. We try our best, but it's not enough. And then I think it's a problem for human rights. I know that Indonesian people, we care about human rights. So a lot of people don't know about this, that's why nothing's being done. But I think that me talking about this, going to international stage, and then letting people know that there is a human rights problem, I think it's important, and I hope that makes it